Hey y'all, this is Stephanie with Large Family Diabetic Cooking. Um, Today, we're going to talk about budgeting. I've had a couple people who watch my channel and have asked me to speak on it. So, here I am. All right, one of the things I wanted to talk to you about is low income. My daughter is low income. She is on food stamps and I think she has medical assistance. She does not get cash assistance uh, because the father of her children live here. So, but low income, she asked me to talk about basic necessities. She says it's very hard to get basic necessities when it comes to diapers and wipes and underwear and pads because we've got two girls, two baby girls, 2 years old, both 2 years old. They are being potty trained right now. Um, Isabella is taking to it very well. May May, on the other hand, is um, how can I say this? um, we have one that will do both in the potty, do number one and number two, and then we have one that will only do number two but won't do number one. She'll wait till you put her pull up on her and then go. So that's where the underwear comes in. So I purchased some underwear for the girls, and she got some herself. She got some off of Amazon. Um, I think it was Amazon or Walmart. But these had little the underwears had little I think like stickers or something on the front of them, and when we washed them, they they came off because she got Minnie Mouse and she got Cookie Monster and Elmo because Maymay's in the Cookie Monster, but Elmo was in with the bunch, and Maymay will only wear Cookie Monster. She's not a big fan of Elmo. So and Minnie Mouse for Isabella. So there's that. So we decided to get them underwear and put them in underwear. We figured if they get wet or whatever, they're not going to like that feeling, and they're eventually going to want changed. With pull-ups, they're used to peeing in them, and that and it pulls the urine away from the skin. So, but when they go in their underwear, they don't like the feeling. So, and they want changed right away. So, and the other thing that we've been doing is as soon as they get up, they go straight on the potty because we want them to understand that the feeling that their bladder is full and that they need to sit on a potty and go. So that's what we've been doing. We've been putting them on a potty so that they can go. So and they've been doing really good, especially in the mornings. Now, through the day when they're in underwear and stuff like that, Izzy she'll go to the potty. She'll go to the potty. She'll pull her pants and her underpants down. She'll sit and she'll go. Maymay is just I don't know if it's she's not ready. I don't know. I don't know, but we are going to continue doing this method till she gets to the point that she will go. I mean, she's going. Don't get me wrong. She is peeing in the potty, and she has only did number two a couple of times. Um, Before we had that issue with Izzy, and then when Izzy started doing number two in the potty, it was she was excited that she did number two. So, but every time they go to the potty, we do the potty dance with them. We make it fun for them and stuff like that. Now, when I was potty training my daughter, one of the things I would do is she got used to having a I would make a fruit salad for her, which would be grapes and strawberries and bananas, and I'd cut them all up and put them in a little bowl when it was potty time, and she knew. If any of you have ever watched the television show Gullah Gullah Island, mm, that was with Ron and Natalie Days. Um, I would cut up her fruit, and then I would put on Gullah Gullah Island. And she would sit there until she went. Because I wanted her to see that once she went in the potty, that was a good thing. And then we would do the potty dance and all of that. So, and that's how I was able to potty train her. So we're trying that same method with the girls. She tried the 3-day method, and it's taking a lot longer than 3 days. Let's just say that it's taking a lot longer than 3 days. So, but it is working. So, I also need you to understand that, that being on low income, there's a lot of things that are hard for her to do, because I've noticed that when you're on food stamps and cash assistance and all that stuff, they keep you where they want you. They make it hard for you to try and get out of that trap. So, but the reason my daughter has, no one will hire her because, one, she is a risk because she has seizures, and she can have a seizure at the drop of a hat. So that's why she's not allowed to live alone. That's why I had to move in with her. And she has something called neurofibromatosis. It's like little spots. They call them cafe au lait spots. And she was diagnosed when she was 6 weeks. Her doctor, her name was Homa Dagan, was her doctor. And I'd never heard of it. Never heard of it. And then at her 6 weeks checkup, she's like, she has this. She's going to have to go to Children's Hospital, and Children's Hospital has a neurofibromatosis clinic. So if you have anybody who has children who may have this, it is they have a clinic at Children's Hospital, and I found out that it is more common in whites than it is blacks, which I never knew. But her dad, Carly's dad, that's a whole other story. But he has seizures. So and he didn't want to believe that he contributed it to Carly's seizures. So, and then Carly talked to his mother, and she said that neurofibromatosis and seizures does run on their side of the family. So, I mean, he doesn't have neurofibromatosis, but he does have seizures. He has grandma seizures or something like that. So, and I've only seen him have a seizure twice. He has kept that part of his life from me. So, and I didn't know. So, but that's neither here nor there. Now, the next part we're going to talk about is being on food stamps. When I was younger, I was on it, but not for a very long time. I was probably on it for a year, and then I ended up, I was able to get a job, so I wasn't able. So, I mean, I wasn't on it for no long period of time. Just long enough to help me get myself situated and get myself into the working environment. So, but my daughter is on food stamps because, unfortunately, she cannot work and no one will hire her. So, with food stamps, I guess it's like money. I don't know how it works. I wasn't on it long enough to know. I'm assuming that that it's like money. And you use it for You can use it to get groceries and stuff like that, but you cannot use it for like diapers and wipes and stuff like that. And then I just recently saw on YouTube that they're saying that you can use your food stamps in restaurants now. But my thing is if you can do that, my thing is when you go to grocery stores and you go grocery shopping, you can't buy things that are hot. Okay, but you could go to a restaurant and get a hot meal. That makes no sense. To me, that makes absolutely no sense. So, I'm going to have to look into that a little more because I don't know how that works. So, but that's one of the things. Now, with the food stamps, you get a certain amount depending on I guess how many kids you have plus yourself. I'm not on that. That is separate. That is her, Michael, and the kids. Because I'm on disability, so I take care of what I need for myself. Now, with her food stamps, she gets a certain amount. So I'm going to, let me see. I'm going to pick an amount. I'll say a family of 12, or not 12, wow. A family of 6. We'll say 6. Because that's 4 kids plus 2 adults. I'm going to say, I never did ask my daughter how much she exactly gets. I don't know. So I'll have to ask her that. But I'm going to say I'm going to say that a family of 6 gets $1,200. So hold on, let me pull up my camera. Wow, not my camera. $1,200 for a family of 6. So now what you're going to do is you're going to, let me show you this. Okay, you're going to divide it by 3. So that gives you $400. That's what you are going to divide your food stamps into. You can even do this even if you're using cash and you have a specific amount that you want to spend. You're going to divide it into 3 separate categories. Now, the first category, $400, you're going to spend that on meats and fresh produce. And even if you get like fresh bread or anything like that, it's considered produce. It's in the fresh area, so fresh bread. You know how sometimes at Walmart they have the French bread and the baguettes and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, like if you're making homemade garlic bread, you're going to need Italian bread. And you can get them for like, they used to be $1, now they're $1.47. So, you get a couple of those and then you can make your homemade, I make my homemade garlic butter. And then I prepare my garlic bread ahead of time and I put it in the freezer. So that way all I have to do is pull it out, put it on a tray, pop it in the oven. It's done. Now, if you want to add cheese to it, you pop it in the oven. You wait till your cheese, your butter melts on top of the bread. And then your cheese that you want to put on top of it, you just sprinkle that on top, pop it back in till the cheese melts. That's it. Now you've got cheesy garlic bread. So, all right. So that part is, you'll spend $400 on your meats and on your fresh produce. Now, the second part, the other $400 you're going to spend on canned foods, pasta, and frozen vegetables. And you can even add in your pasta and your pasta sauce. Some people make their sauce homemade. They buy the canned sauce and then make their own, spaghetti sauce, which is what I do. And condiments like your ketchup, your mustard, any spices that you may be running out of, um, hot sauce, salt, pepper, stuff like that, peanut butter, stuff like that. And then the next 400 you're going to use for your dairy, which is going to be your milk, your cheeses, your yogurt, and then the next part will be for pop and snacks for the kids and for the house and cereal. Now, if you're the type that we don't buy a lot of cereal, but more recently the kids have been wanting it. So we have started buying it because I'm so used to making like hot breakfasts for them. And they're fighting me. And I don't like it. So, but they like cereal, so that's okay. And I don't have a problem with that. They can have it. But it's not going to be an everyday thing. They have to understand that, that in order for me to control their sugar and their salt intake and to make sure that they don't get sick and all of that, this is what grandma does. So, and that's that's going to be the third part. So your first part is meat and fresh produce. Your carrots, your onions, your potatoes, fresh fruit, apples, bananas, oranges, strawberries, grapes, stuff like that. Then your canned foods. Now, like if you're trying to get your long-term pantry together and stuff like that, you want to pay attention to the sales. The sales are the biggest thing. Now, recently there's been a big sale on pasta, so I stocked up on pasta. It was 98 cents a box. I couldn't pass it up. So I stocked up on all the pasta, and the last time I did that, I didn't have to buy pasta for almost 4 months because I had so much pasta. We don't eat pasta every day. So there's that, and then like I said, your pasta, and your canned stuff. Canned stuff always goes on sale. Like canned green beans, canned corn. A lot of people don't like the taste of canned corn. I don't either. I like the frozen corn. So when you go to get your frozen foods, I get the frozen corn. Now, I get fresh spinach, and I get Walmart carries or not Walmart, it's Sam's Club. Sam's Club carries the bags of fresh broccoli. So I get that because, and I will be getting that this month because Michael said that he wanted some broccoli cheddar soup. So I'm going to be making some of that, and I will show you guys how I make that. I think I have a copycat version. I'm not exactly sure. I'll have to find it. I think I do. But it is for, what is on my screen? I don't know. But I don't know. It's still there, so I don't know. But all right, so there's that. Now, living in low income housing. One thing you're going to have to learn to deal with is people telling you how to raise your kids. You take their information with a grain of salt. You listen to it, but you don't have to abide by it. Because how you raise your kids is how you raise your kids. Not everybody raises their kids the same way. And there's a lot of people out here who have the mentality of your kids are to be seen but not heard. Okay, that was back in the 1950s. Can we get out of that, please? Allow your kids to be kids. Allow your kids to have fun. Um, uh, Another thing is you have to deal with thin walls. So if you have a neighbor that's being intimate, you're going to hear it. And so will your kids. So when that happens, that's when you take your kids out to the park and you give them time to do their business, but you get the kids out the house fast. Because you will hear everything. So that's another thing. Um, Another thing that we've also been dealing with is you're not allowed to put holes in the walls. No holes in the walls whatsoever. Absolutely no holes. They're not having it. So they tell you they want you to make your house a home, but you can't put holes in the walls to hang up pictures or anything like that. I mean, yeah, I did. Because I tried to use the command strips and they would fall off the walls. So, and some of my pictures have glass frames, and when they fall, then you have to be careful. You got to get it all cleaned up. And with me being a diabetic and Mike being a diabetic, we're not allowed to walk around the house in our bare feet. I mean, sometimes we do, but for things like that could happen, you could step on a piece of glass, and then that could cause a whole other plethora of issues. So there's that. But you have a lot of people. There are some people that do tell you how to raise your kids, and some of the information is beneficial, and some is not. So, like I said, take it with a grain of salt. Um, the other issue we have with is kids when they are outside playing and stuff like that. And we have some teenagers here that use some not so nice language. And whenever you have little kids that are impressionable, they think that they can go ahead and use that language because they think it's okay. They're like, okay, well, he's using it, so it must be okay to say. No. That's when you got to step in as a parent and be like, look, just because they do it doesn't mean that it's okay. I will not tolerate that type of language. And my daughter does not, and neither does Michael. So, all right, now, the next thing we want to do is we want to talk about figuring out your budget. Now, I showed you how to do that for food stamps. If you are getting cash assistance, you need to figure out your rent. And some low-income housing. Now, where my daughter lives, the electric, all the utilities are included in the rent. That's why our rent is so high. But there are some that you have to pay the electric, the gas, the sewage, as if you lived in a house. You have to figure that all out. And then you've got to figure out, now if you have little kids, you've got to figure out diapers. You got to figure out wipes. If you're having a new baby or anything like that, sometimes family members will do a baby shower for you, which is nice. I mean, I did one for my daughter for Alex, and I helped my one daughter's friend do one for Carly when she had Caden. Caden was our first, and then Alex, and then May May. So we did baby showers for all the kids. so so that way she could, and she had a lot of friends that helped her get things that she needed. Now, I know a lot of people say that you should only have one baby shower and stuff like that. Okay, I get that, but if you're having a girl and you have no girl stuff because you've always had boys, you know what I mean? And that's what she had. She had two boys, and then she finally got her girl that she's been wanting. So, we did a baby shower. We knew she was having a girl, so there's that. So she was able to get some of the things that she needed. There were now when she was pregnant with Alex, her dad. Her wow, he went to Walmart to get some of the things that she asked for. He did not know what a onesie was. hmm Didn't know what a onesie was. Didn't know what a one piece was. Didn't know what a sleeper was. I was like, dude, you have all these kids and you don't know what none of these are? That's a whole other story. But guess what? I'm just going to be quiet, be still, let God handle it. All right, now we're going to talk about now the household supplies, stuff like that you need for the house. You're going to divvy up the way you did, like I showed you with food stamps, and you can do it with cash too. So if you have a specific amount that you're allowed to spend or whatever, you also need to budget in gas because you got to put gas in the car. Now, if you are on like a shared ride program or something like that, they charge you to take you to said store so you can do what you need to do and come back. And then there are some places where you're only allowed to in the shared rides, you're only allowed to do what you can carry. So I mean, if you need a whole house full of groceries, that's not gonna work. So you'll need to find someone that can take you grocery shopping so that you can get what you need for the month, or if you go every 2 weeks, or if you go every week, you need to budget in gas money because people are not going to do stuff for free. It's just the way it is. So, all right, and then the other thing, household supplies. You're going to need cleaning supplies. Like I said, diapers and wipes. For women, when your monthly comes along, you need to budget in for that. Vitamins, if you're on vitamins or specific anything specific like that. Like if your insurance doesn't cover it, then that's something that you're going to have to fork out of your pocket. Those are things that you need to do. And the other thing that I have a problem with the welfare system, with food stamps, is mainly not with the welfare system, but with food stamps, is they want you to feed your kids healthy foods, but they won't let you purchase organic foods or grass-fed, grass-finished meats, stuff like that, because it's expensive. And if they're not willing to up the food stamps so that these kids can be fed healthy foods, then you can't say that you're for the kids because you're not. That's just my opinion. The other thing is, no organic products whatsoever. I mean, now if you go to Sam's Club, Sam's Club only does organic fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. So, if you go to Sam's Club, you can get your fruits and vegetables organic from there. So that's what I've been doing. I've been going to Sam's Club because they do allow that. So, because I do my daughter's budgeting for groceries for the house, so that way it lasts the whole entire month. And so far, it's been working out very well. Now, like usually every 2 weeks, I may have to go back and get potatoes and vegetables, or like mushrooms and um, spinach and peppers and stuff like that, and milk. Yeah, I just snorted. I don't know where that came from. I just did. I don't know where it came from. It just come out. It was out there. It was out there. Okay, so there's that. Now, WIC. That is women, infant, and children. But I found out, because my daughter was just telling me, it's also for single fathers too. I did not know that. She said all they have to do is they have to show proof that they have custody of their child, or if they're splitting custody, he has to show proof that he's splitting custody and that he gets his child maybe every 2 weeks. He keeps him for 2 weeks and she keeps him for 2 weeks. Whatever arrangement that they have. But as long as he shows proof that he has his child half of the time and she has her child half of the time, they'll be able to get WIC for that child. That was interesting because I always thought it was for women. I never thought that it would be for men. But there are men out there, single fathers out there, that are taking care of their kids and are stepping up and being dads and doing what they're supposed to do as a parent. So there's that. Homeschooling. We are homeschooling Caden. He wants to go and try and live at his dad's for a year. So I think he is going this summer. I think it's this summer. Yeah. So he's going to try that. He wants to go live with his dad for a year. So he's been puttering around with the idea for the past couple years, but he's finally decided that he wants to at least try. So there's absolutely no problem with that. And I hope he has fun. So, but he is being homeschooled. Now, for some of you who are thinking about homeschooling your kids, but you don't know what you want to do, you can go through your school. Some schools have homeschooling programs, and they'll get credit through the school. There are some teachers that do the homeschooling program because when my grandson Caden was being homeschooled, there was homeschooling through his school. But after this whole thing with COVID and all that stopped, they went back to the regular way of teaching because you know how everything got shut down and kids were being homeschooled and stuff like that. So and he found out that he actually liked it, but then we got to the point where he started getting lazy, wasn't turning in his homework, falling asleep during class and stuff like that. Well, we put him back into regular school and told him no more. Well, he found out that we weren't playing business. He just thought we were blowing smoke. Well, we weren't blowing smoke. We put his butt back in school. So let me tell you, when we put him back in the homeschooling program, we haven't had an issue. Not one. Not one. He's turning in his homework. He's getting A's. Straight A's. My boy's doing good. My boy's doing good. And they have this thing, it's a STEM class, where they have to make things, and he loves doing that. That's one of his favorite things is the STEM classes, doing stuff with his hands. And I've noticed that Alex is the same way, and so is Isabella. They love doing things with their hands. So there's that. Also, every state requires that your kids have basic learning. So if you want your child to just do basic learning, you need to find out exactly what your state considers basic learning and make sure that that's what they learn. And then you can get all your supplies through Walmart and Amazon. So, and then my daughter said that there is a new drink out. It's a super drink. It's called Bloom. It's a protein powder. And she said that I guess that it's not covered by food stamps or anything like that. That you would have to pay cash for that. But she was a little upset that it couldn't be covered by food stamps. But I can understand that because it would be considered. I'm assuming that it would be considered a medicine because it's like it's a vitamin and it's a protein. So, I guess that would be considered a medicine, and that's why it's not covered. I don't know. So, and then I'll have to look up this stuff called Bloom. I have heard of it, but I don't know anything about it. But that was one of the things that she wanted me to talk about. But I'll have to talk about that in my next video. Now, I want to talk about well, we kind of touched on the No Child Left Behind about when it comes to food stamps and feeding the kids and how they tell you they want you to feed your kids healthy, but they don't give you the means or anything to make sure that you can feed your kids healthy. So that's why I started buying more fresh vegetables and fruits and stuff like that, and making sure that they get roasted vegetables, making sure that they get organic because I can get it through Sam's Club. Walmart, you cannot use your food stamps and buy anything organic at Walmart. Nothing. Which makes no sense. They don't allow it at Walmart, but you could do it at Sam's. That makes no sense. But a lot of things in this world doesn't make sense. You get that whole, damned if you do, damned if you don't. So, now, the next thing I want to talk about is childcare. Childcare, if you're on low income, is very hard to afford. A friend of ours told us that for her to send her son for a whole entire week is $240. She lives in low income. $240 for the whole entire week. She has to provide diapers. She has to provide wipes. This daycare does not. Take him because he's not potty trained. But there are some daycares that will not take your child unless they are fully potty trained. And it is hard to afford because first, if you're on low income and you're living in low income housing, you've got to pay rent. So if your rent is let's say your rent is $700, and now you've got to figure in $240 towards childcare. Hold on a minute. All right, guys. My daughter wants to play this game on TikTok. It's called Scavenger Hunt. She wants to play this game.
This guy does it. This one black guy, he does it. He's really, I can't remember his TikTok name because it's like weird and it's funny. Uh-huh. But anyways, what you do is he tells you to find an item, and he goes, bring it to the camera, and you've literally got 5 seconds. Like 10 seconds, 5 seconds, something like that. And he counts down, and you have to hurry up and find the item. The last person to come back to the camera, strike one.
Oh.
3 strikes, you're out.
Huh. Okay. Well, you're going to have a lot of running to do because the kitchen is like all the way back there. And if you only got 5 or 10 seconds.
No, I would take my phone into the kitchen and that's where I would play at. And then I would go, because most of the items he names would be items that I would be able to find faster if I'm in the kitchen.
Oh, okay.
Not because they're kitchen items, but because like everything is like pantry And like he asked for a mop and a broom last time,
Well,
and that's in the laundry pantry.
make sure you take your purse with you because he's probably going to ask for stuff that most women would carry in their purse.
Yeah, but I don't carry hot sauce in my purse. That's in the fridge.
Hot sauce? Oh. My dad's wife. Oh, my Lord. We went out to eat, and we went to...
Ponderosa.
No, not Ponderosa. It wasn't Ponderosa.
Golden Corral. Yes, it was Golden Corral.
Was it? Okay, Golden Corral. And, and when we went to my brother's wedding, we went to Denny's. And she pulled out hot sauce out her purse. And I sat there and I looked at her and I was like, Are you serious? You don't think they have hot sauce here?
Not the kind she likes.
Not the kind that she likes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, not the kind that she likes. So she carries everywhere she goes. She got some hot sauce.
She has it in her purse in a little baggie in case it breaks open.
Mm-hmm.
Smart. Listen.
Okay.
I found out they have mini Parmesan cheeses. Watch me start carrying one.
All you have to do is ask the store for. Do you see what I go for? Do you see Parmesan cheese? So but it has to be Kraft. So, yeah. This day. All right, let me lock my door. Keep my grandkids out for a second. Okay, so now back to childcare. But yeah, it is hard to be able to afford that and pay rent, and if you have utilities on top of that, and buy diapers and buy wipes and buy sanitary napkins or whatever, cleaning supplies for your house and stuff. All of that stuff has to be budgeted. So you need to figure out what your budget is. I know with cash assistance, it's like, I think it's like 150 every 2 weeks or something like that. So you're supposed to try and make everything work on $300 a month. But there are programs out there for gas and electric and sewage and stuff like that. There's all kinds of programs out there that you can do. You can even do LIHEAP. There are people that will come into your house and do what is called weatherization. And they'll do it every year. They do it every year. And you just, I haven't. My mom used to do it years ago, but I was little. And she had only done it one time. And then we ended up moving into a house. And she hadn't done it after that. But it's called weatherization. They have a program called weatherization. I think it's through the welfare office. There's LIHEAP, there's LIHERP. And I think LIHERP is for gas. LIHEAP is for electric. So, and living in low-income housing, some of them are gas, some of them are electric. So, there's that. And then rent adjustment. A friend of mine was just telling me, because she was telling me about some of the things that she wanted to discuss, that she wanted me to discuss. They upped her rent. She was paying $324, and they upped her rent over $800, and she just started a job. They have to have at least 3 weeks worth of pay stubs before they can adjust her rent. And she had just started the job on Monday. And they upped her rent to over $800. And she just started the job on Monday, so she doesn't have enough she doesn't have enough time in. She just started it Monday. Today is Thursday. 4 days. and they upped her rent over $800. From a legal standpoint, I think that is illegal. I don't think you can do that without having that. So, but you have to in subsidized housing, and then when she does get the give them their the stubs that they're asking for, the 3 weeks worth of stubs, then it takes them weeks to readjust the rent. And it shouldn't take that long, because it took her a matter of hours. When she found out she was working, a matter of hours to up her rent over $800. But when she gets the pay stubs, it sends them into her. Sends them into whoever does the adjusting the rent or whatever. It takes them weeks to readjust it. So there may be a month or two where she'll end up having to pay $1,600 in rent. So, and then there's also, when you live in low income housing, they have what do you call it? Where they come in and they want to make sure that you're keeping your unit clean, and there's not like a lot of garbage and stuff like that. There have been people where I have been to their houses that is just it's unreal, some of the things you see. But I have a lot of friends that are extremely clean, and very rarely did they ever come in and do what is called an inspection in our home, because of the way we keep the house clean. The walls clean, the floors clean, everything's clean. So, and that might be another reason why they don't want anything on the walls, is so that way you can, when you're cleaning your walls and stuff like that, it makes everything easier to clean your walls. Because you guys saw me clean my bedroom and how we clean our walls here and stuff like that. So, when I got my hospital bed, and I need to get some sheets and for my hospital bed, because well, not sheets, but there's a thing that makes the bed softer, because it's been making my back hurt horrible. My back has been killing me horribly, my lower back. And even though I put my feet up and everything like that, when you're in that position for a while, it can become very painful. So, again, this I wanted to touch on budgeting and how we budget for our house. And the one thing I did want to tell you about WIC. WIC has this thing where you can go to, I think it's called Farmers something, where they have farm stand or something like that, where you can go and buy fresh produce, and you can use WIC to do that. Some of the farmers, they'll go to the local mall or someplace like that, and they'll set up there, and you can get fresh tomatoes, cucumbers, apples, all kinds of stuff that's fresh. And WIC will give you that. They're vouchers. They're called vouchers. And you can do that through WIC. I wish that the welfare office would do that with food stamps. A portion of it can be a certain portion of it can be used for fresh fruits and vegetables. Now, it's kind of hard to do that when the cold weather comes around. So you're only going to have a small span of a window in which to use that in. So, and I think that the food stamps would benefit from that, from that little small window. And then when the weather starts to get cold and all those fruits and vegetables, then they can go back to the grocery store. Their food stamps can be adjusted and go back to the grocery store and get their stuff from the grocery store. And then when the warm weather comes around again, bring that portion back. But that would mean they would be constantly rebudgeting to figure out how that works and stuff. Or they could do like WIC does with the vouchers. And you get, I think it's like $20 or $30 or something like that to get fresh fruits and vegetables through WIC. So I think that would be pretty cool if the food stamps part of it did something like that. So, but this is Stephanie with Large Family Diabetic Cooking, and I wanted to touch base on budgeting, and I have some new subscribers. One is Teresa Jukowitz, and she signed up with me on December 26th, and then H.M. Danning, who signed up on January 9th. I don't know what today's date is. So, but I wanted to say hi to those that have signed up with my channel, and I want to say welcome to our family. So, again, this is Stephanie with Large Family Diabetic Cooking. Now, if you guys have any questions or anything that you would like me to delve more into and answer them more thoroughly, send me your questions, and I will do another video. So, see you all later.